generation growing up believing that people living in tents and in our streets is in fact quite normal. We can't afford to normalize homelessness. We must act with a sense of urgency to meet this humanitarian crisis with, let me underscore, with unprecedented investment. This is why I have asked past leaders of our California State Senate and our California State Assembly to join me in signing a letter calling on my colleagues in the California State Legislature and the governor to commit over $20 billion over the next 5 years to help for homeless housing development throughout California, but especially in Los Angeles and especially right here in Skid Row.
It's time to make that bold, large investment and get our unhoused community into dignified housing space. And we also want to make sure that we have that sense of emergency, that urgency that says the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 job today is to make sure that folks have a house to live in.
I agree with the housing first model. Once I became permanently housed 4 years ago, my quality of life improved drastically. So the woman that you see before you today is not the same woman you would have seen 4, 5, 6 years ago.
We need to focus primarily on getting people into permanent housing as a solution and not this revolving door back out into homelessness through a shelter system. We're not actually solving the problem. We're pouring money into a system that doesn't work.
The system has broken and failed families in Los Angeles, and we need our state and federal government to step up and do their part to deliver the resources so that post-pandemic we can help uplift families and make sure that we end the cycle of poverty and homelessness in Los Angeles.
Team Cedillo celebrates El Día del Niño. Winegard YMCA hosts a vaccine event in South LA, and the LA Controllers unveils this year's free tax prep map. These stories up next on City Beat.
Team Cedillo celebrated El Día del Niño this weekend with music, clowns, and a back-to-school supplies giveaway.
It's a day that celebrates our children in Mexico, and so many of those celebrations we also adopt here because of our Mexican heritage and communities. But it's really important to lift our children up, make them feel so special as they are. Our children are special to us.
The event was held at the Los Angeles River Center and Gardens and made possible by participation from organizations such as Alma Family Services, Athletes in the Making, Soledad Enrichment Action, and LA Barber College. The Winegard YMCA hosted a vaccine event in South LA this weekend. The event was held in conjunction with Shared Harvest and MyCOVID-MD.
We've hit a really good milestone as a country. Over 30% of the country has been vaccinated, but we still see a large percentage of marginalized, disenfranchised communities still not getting access to vaccines, and more importantly, not getting access to doctors and providers to ask their questions.
Those who chose to be vaccinated at the event were rewarded with a free lotto ticket and a pre-Cinco de Mayo barbecue.
We're treating this as a family affair. Everyone wants to be vaccinated to get closer to their families. Shared Harvest is all about just bringing families and communities together.
LA Controller Ron Galperin has introduced a new interactive map of free tax preparation service providers throughout the Los Angeles area. This free service is designed to help low to moderate income Angelenos who seek assistance for meeting the May 17th filing deadline. The new interactive map lists 55 tax prep assistance locations that include local community-based organizations and resource centers. To check out services in your area or to see if you qualify for this free service, visit lacontroller.org/taxprepla.
There will always be a myriad of services provided by the City of Los Angeles that residents just don't seem to be aware of. Fortunately, our own Maria Hall-Brown sat down with the director of 311, Donna Arruchia, to get the scoop on all the city services that are available right at your fingertips.
Imagine being able to access all the services and all the information for the City of LA in the palm of your hand. We don't have to imagine because it actually exists. MyLA 311. And here to tell us all about it, I'm delighted to be joined by the director, Donna Archia. What is MyLA 311?
Well, MyLA 311 is actually a group of services. It includes the 311 call center, which you can reach by dialing a 3-digit number, 311, just like you call the police department by dialing 911. So it's easy and simple to remember. And it also includes the MyLA 311 mobile app, which is available for free on the various app stores. And the idea of the app is to allow people, when they're out in public spaces and they see a problem like a pothole or a cracked sidewalk or a street light that's not working, it'll go straight to a crew and somebody will come out and take care of it.
It's an enormous scope of what is available, but let's go ahead and talk about what are the ones that are the most common.
The most common services for 311 is service request intake of things like dumping, potholes, reporting graffiti. Bulky item pickup appointments is a very popular service for sanitation customers. Reporting homeless encampments, things like that. Park maintenance, animal services, and a variety of other services are available through the app or by calling 311.
I really appreciate all of this information, Donna, and I really enjoyed our chat.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to share about 311. I think it's a great community service, and everybody should use it.
I agree.
The renovation of the 6th Street Viaduct at the 101 freeway continues. And while you may think there's nothing exciting about pouring concrete, just listen as City Engineer Gary Lee Moore regales his story of progress and innovation.
So we're out here today to witness the pouring of another arch. And this is the third of 10 arches, but what's special about it is this one's over the 101 freeway, which caused us to shut down the freeway for safety reasons. When you put 48 truckloads of concrete into this pair of arches, we want to make sure that there were no possibilities of anything falling on the freeway. It's quite an exciting moment for all of us. The pour is going very, very well, and I really want to thank the women and men who are out there working on this project. In March of 2021, when we poured the first arch, that pair of arches were 30 feet in height. And this arch is 40 feet in height. Caltrans is going to come in and do roadway repairs on the 101. They can do their work, and we got our work done first since it's so critical to the completion of the bridge. You get to walk across this bridge on new, wider sidewalks. You get to bike across this bridge on new 10-foot wide bike lanes. And of course, you'll be able to drive across it. All these arches are going to have LED lighting, and so they'll be able to change colors. We're just excited for summer of 2022 to come, and we'll be able to walk, bike, and drive across this new bridge.
Known as the birthplace of Los Angeles, Olvera Street is a marketplace established to celebrate the city's Mexican heritage. And it's back open for business. Michelle Garcia-Ortiz from El Pueblo talked to Channel 35 about the importance of visiting this historical downtown street.
This is your Pueblo, and it can't survive without you. We welcome visitors from all over the world, and especially locals.
I've been coming here since I was a little girl, been shopping, buying the purses and the clothing from here, and I don't know, I feel comfortable here. This is like home.
Welcome everybody to Olvera Street. We're open, we're ready for you guys to come back. We're following the protocols of the health department. Everything is safe and clean. Estamos siguiendo los protocolos de salubridad al 100%. Nuestras mesas están retiradas a 8 pies de distancia. Tenemos desinfectante. En cuanto se levanta una persona de la mesa, desinfectamos las mesas.
Ahora que estoy afuera, estamos felices que estamos bien de salud y estoy muy feliz de venir y más que nada ayudar a la gente de nosotros a seguir con sus negocios y que no fallen.
It's very safe. Everybody's covered up. Everybody is respecting to keep distance. You know, everybody, there's hand sanitizer, you know.
Coming back to the community is
Just coming back to the community, you know,
Bringing it
helping out all these little mom and pop shops
Bringing it
is
back
a
up.
wonderful thing because I know they have lost a lot of money during this pandemic, and just helping them, even just buying a little bowl or buying a little shoe, I know I'm helping their business out so they
And
could
helping us
stay
out.
here, and so when she's older, she could come and shop at the same place that she
Breathe on
shopped
her.
when she was little.
Olvera Street and El Pueblo are located right across from the world-famous Union Station. You can get here by bike, bus, car, or train. For more information, find us on social media at El Pueblo LA or visit our website, elpueblo.lacity.org.
Marquise Harris Dawson was on hand for the unveiling of a new community park in South LA. The park's namesake was lost in a violent tragedy, but her memory has unified her community in the spirit of activism and hope.
Today, City Councilman Marquise Harris Dawson is going to unveil the LaTasha Hollins Playground sign. This playground is now named in the memory of a child who was viciously murdered.
This was LaTasha's community park, where she participated in our classes and our programs. And as I learned more about LaTasha, I was inspired by her heroism, her wisdom that she had at such a young age.
Take a moment and look around you and look at the multiculturalism that's here today. So while we lost LaTasha Harlins to a murder, her name still continues to gather people and unite us in a very unique way.
3, 2, 1.
It's really a great situation to be here, you know, just it's nice. And I definitely miss my granddaughter.
I just want to say that this is for her. We recognize you, you know, we love you. And if it wasn't for you, you know, we wouldn't have the motivation to keep fighting the way that we do.
LaTasha was killed 30 years ago. Unfortunately, her life was taken way, way too soon because I believe she had a future in spite of. But we are here. We're here to make a difference.
I think what we need to do next is to continue to talk to each other. And that means sometimes we're yelling at each other, sometimes we're screaming at each other, sometimes it's just a whisper. But the point is to stay in communication and to have at a base of all our interactions the value for human life.
In our feature this week, we continue to explore the issue of the rise in racially motivated violence agitated by the toxic politics of the COVID-19 pandemic. I spoke with Paul S. Chan, chairman of the board of directors for AJLA, about the disturbing trend of hate crimes against Asian Americans. With the current pandemic, there has been a rise in hate crimes against Asian Americans, which has highlighted the importance of the efforts organizations like Asian Americans Advancing Justice Los Angeles are doing to create a more equitable and harmonious society. With us today, we have Paul S. Chan, who is the chair of the board of directors of Asian Americans Advancing Justice Los Angeles. Thank you so much for being here, Paul.
Hi, Natalia. Thank you for having me.
So how has the global pandemic impacted the efforts of the organization?
There has been a significant rise
anti-Asian discrimination, anti-Asian harassment. The reasons for that are many. The political rhetoric of the last administration, referring to the Kung flu, referring to the China virus, certainly created an environment where this sort of conduct, is more prevalent. But I think, just sort of the stresses brought on by the pandemic itself, has caused, unfortunately, some folks in the community to think of people from China or Chinese Americans in particular as having the virus or somehow being responsible for the virus. So one of the top priorities of our organization now is dealing with this rise in anti-Asian discrimination.
Literally a week ago, I was in the subway with a friend of mine, and I experienced something that was just so shocking that I was not prepared for.
Yeah.
This Asian woman was in the same train as myself. We boarded it at the same time, and then these two men started, saying some really nasty words and intimidating this poor woman, and it was just horrible to experience that as a human being, and also to see that there was no one else doing nothing. And I remember looking at this woman and seeing her shaking and crying in fear, and my friend and I were like, we cannot, it's like a human responsibility that we have to act. And obviously I have no idea how those two men are going to react towards me, but at that moment it's like there's a woman in distress that did nothing to generate this behavior. So I guess I'm so happy to hear that you're doing something to educate people like myself who experience this.
It's shocking.
It is. It's just
it happens when you least expect it. But there are things you can do, as you did, to try and assist the victim, get them out of harm's way, document the conduct, report it after the fact so that folks know what happened.
So in terms of looking at the future, where do you hope things will be at in, say, 5 years?
Well, obviously we hope we won't need as much of this focus on anti-Asian discrimination, but I think we will continue to have that as one of the core programs. The hope is that we continue to get the word out, that we are here as a resource. One of the challenges is not so much having the capacity to provide services, but getting the word out, educating the community that we are here and available to assist the Asian American community.
So I guess to wrap it up, how can allies and members of the AAPI community connect?
Sure. I would encourage folks to go to our website, advancingjustice-la.org, which has tremendous information about what we do and how you can get involved.
Thank you so much for being here with us today, Paul.
Thank you for having me.
The LA Made series has a conversation with author Yangshi Chu. Explore racism as a public health issue with LACMA, or engage with Art Rise. All this and more up next in Things to Do.
The Los Angeles Public Library invites you to enjoy a new installment of their ongoing artist series, LA Made. In recognition of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, LAPL brings you a conversation with New York Times best-selling author Yangshi Chu. Yangshi is the author of The Night Tiger and The Ghost Bride, which is now a Netflix original drama. This episode of LA Made will be streamed on the library's YouTube channel and Facebook page. So be sure to check out a conversation with author Yangshi Chu, happening Friday, May 14th at 4 p.m. The Los Angeles County Museum of Art invites you to check out a new virtual panel series entitled Racism is a Public Health Issue. Conceived in conjunction with organizations such as Gyopo and Stop Discrimination, LACMA presents an educational lecture series that aims to address prejudices against the Asian American community both prior and during the COVID-19 crisis. Be sure to check out Racism is a Public Health Issue Friday, May 14th on the LACMA YouTube channel. You are invited to check out the public art exhibition Art Rise, a series of outdoor art installations and special projects created in collaboration with museums, cultural institutions, and artists. Reaching across 5 different neighborhoods, the art installations are designed to be COVID safe with socially distant viewing and are easily accessible by foot or vehicle. To learn more about where to find ArtRise installations, visit whywerise.la/ArtRise. And that's a look at some virtual things to do.
And that's it for this edition. I am Natalia Bilbao, and from all of us here at LA This Week, thank you so much for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacityview.org, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. See you next time for more LA This Week.
11th, and I am Noria Martinez, the President of the City Council. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Blumenfield.
Blumenfield present.
Bonin.
Bonin present.
Buscaino.
Good morning here.
Cedillo.
Cedillo here.
De Leon. Harris Dawson.
Present.
Koretz.
Present.
Krikorian.
Here.
Lee.
Present.
Martinez.
Present.
O'Farrell. Price.
Here.
Rahman.
Here.
Ridley Thomas.
Here.
Rodriguez.
Here.
13 members and a quorum, Madam President.
And Madam Clerk, I think Mr. O'Farrell is having technical issues accessing our meeting, so we'll record him when he is able to participate. First order of business.
Approval of the minutes of May 5th.
Mr. Ridley Thomas moves and Mr. Bonin seconds. Next.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Mr. Lee moves and Mr. Price seconds. Next.
Madam President, today is Tuesday and time for the flag salute.
Mr. Buscaino, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
With honor, Madam President. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk, let's go ahead and run through the agenda.
Madam President, would council like all items to go forthwith today?
Without objection, that will be the order.
There has been a request from a council member to continue item 2 for 3 weeks to June 1st.
Without objection, that will be the order.
Items 1 and 2 are items noticed for public hearing. Items 3 through 6 are items for which public hearings have been held. Items 7 through 33 are items for which public hearings have not been held. And please note for the record that for item 22, the correct assessor ID number is 5087-027-007. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Without objections, those items are now before us. Madam Clerk, we also note that Mr. O'Farrell has joined our council meeting.
Thank you.
Mr. O'Farrell, can I just get a quick verification that you can hear us?
Yes, I am present. I was having some technical difficulties, but happy to join. Thank you.
Thank you. Members, you want to call any of these items special? Mr. Koretz?
Yes, I'd like to call item 3 special.
For comments or an amendment?
Comments.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Rodriguez?
Item 5, please, for remarks.
One more time, what item?
Item 5.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Price?
I need to recuse myself from item 26 due to my wife's business, DRA, who has a former client who is an applicant.
Okay, there's been a request by Ms. Thank you. There's been a request by Mr. Price to recuse himself on item 26, Madam Clerk. Members, are there any other items? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, which are the available items we can go ahead and vote on?
At this time, council may vote on items 4 and 6.
Let's go ahead and open the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Buscaino.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
De Leon. Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas.
Aye.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
14 ayes. These items are adopted.
Okay, Madam Clerk, let's go ahead and move on to public comment.
Thank you, Madam President. And as indicated on the agenda, members of the public wishing to offer public comment should call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press star 9 to request to speak. Finally, when you hear the last 4 digits of your phone number, press star 6. And again, call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and press pound. Press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press star 9 to request to speak. And finally, when you hear the last 4 digits of your phone number, press star 6.
To members of the public calling in, when it's your turn to speak, please state which of the agenda items you'd like to speak on. You have 1 minute per item, up to 3 minutes total, and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin on the items before providing general public comment. We'll tell you when your time's up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you're not on topic, or if we can't tell whether you're on topic, you'll get 1 brief warning from me or the president. If you don't immediately get clearly on topic or again stray off topic, you'll be cut off, forfeit the rest of your speaking time, and we'll move on to the next speaker. We'll take 40 minutes total of public comment. The items that are open for public comment are items 1 through 2 and 7 through 33. That's 1, 2, and 7 through 33. Finally, for members of the public calling in to speak, as soon as you hear someone identify you by reading off the last 4 digits of your phone number or other identifying information if you're calling with a block number, it's your turn to speak. Please immediately press star 6 and then tell us which items you want to talk on. We understand that you may be listening on channel 35 or another device. If you are, do keep one ear to the phone, however, because there's a brief time delay between the live meeting and the broadcast. And if you're only listening to the broadcast, when it's your turn to speak, you may not hear it quickly enough and press star 6 right away, and we may think you're no longer on the line and move on to the next person. Also, if you're listening on another device, as soon as it's your turn to speak, please turn down the volume on the other device right away and just listen on the phone. If you continue to listen to the broadcast, because of the time delay and feedback, it will cause a lot of confusion. So we are ready, Madam President, to take public comment.
Mr. City Attorney, you mentioned item number 2.
And I am mistaken. You are correct, Madam President. Item 2 has been continued to June 1st. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and take the first caller.
Caller ending in 5435, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
My name is Arthur Hurst, and I want to make a public comment.
Sure, you have 1 minute. Please begin.
Thank you. So I'm calling in support of the anti-harassment bill with Councilmember Nithya Raman's amendments due to the fact that I've spoken to hundreds of people here in Los Angeles throughout that have been illegally evicted during the pandemic. And pre-pandemic, these people have been harassed by landlords who do not care about the law, who do not care to keep people housed. If you guys are a public servant, which that is in your job description, you will hear the cries of the people and you will support Nithya Raman's amendments because they support the people. Not only that, they protect them in times of despair, which we find ourselves in constantly. This is incredibly outrageous that we have to constantly ask public servants to support the people. So I ask that you listen. I ask that you care about these people as if they were your own family members and stand up for what is right. Stop the harassment and make sure that landlords pay the full cost of when it comes to legal fines, when it comes to updating property.
Thank you, Speaker. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 3843, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Andrea Jimenez, general public comment.
You have 1 minute. Please begin.
Thank you. June 15th, you will start allowing in-person participation in city council meetings. Do I really have to go into city hall and continue begging for no-fault evictions to be allowed? Please, someone give me an answer as to why no-fault evictions aren't allowed, because I do not understand. Now, COVID cases are decreasing, vaccines are easily available for everyone. LA is opening, and we have finally made it to yellow tier, and yet you're still not allowing no-fault evictions. Why does everything seem to be going back to normal, but I am still homeless? And I wouldn't be surprised if the same people you're housing are also the same people rejecting work, abusing the system, and taking advantage of the help for those in true need. And we're not the only ones. We have gotten in contact with other families who are going through the same, such as Miss Lori Large, who has been homeless with 2 kids. Why do you not care about it? Now, the lack of ability of landlord declarations in Los Angeles to be able to provide basic eviction information that you should be able to made accessible and relevant before the pandemic and the eviction moratorium is infuriating. They simply say we do not know or seek legal advice. We're not getting any help.
Thank you, Speaker.
Next speaker.
Caller ending in 3605, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Hola, buenos días. ¿Me escucha?
Sí, ¿necesita traductor?
Sí, por favor.
Que un momentito, nomás le pido que hable despacio para que la traductora le pueda traducir. Por favor, comience.
Perfecto, es un comentario público. ¿Cuánto tiempo tengo?
It is a public comment. How much time do I
Tiene
have?
un minuto.
Ok, me va a traducir. Tengo que tener más tiempo por,
Sí, yo entiendo.
por la hora de que usted me va a traducir, ¿ok? Gracias.
Ajá.
Buenos días. Soy un miembro de ACE y soy un inquilino del Distrito 9.
Good morning. I'm a member of ACE and I'm tenant from 9th District.
Les pedimos a los concejales que apoyen las enmiendas que protegen a los inquilinos, específicas las enmiendas de Nissan Raman.
We are asking for the council's members that they can support the amendments that are protecting the tenants, especially the amendments of Ms. Rahman.
Hemos estado pidiendo esto hace bastantes semanas, por lo cual necesitamos que las pongan en la agenda lo más rápido que puedan.
We've been requesting this already for several weeks, so we need this to be put in the schedule like as soon as possible.
Este es un mensaje rápido para el concejal Corrin Price.
This is a quick message for Council Member Price.
Los miembros de su comunidad, miembros de ACE, hemos estado pidiéndole una reunión y nos ha ignorado.
The members of your community that are members of ACE, we've been asking for a meeting and you've been ignoring us.
Necesitamos que se ponga a trabajar con nosotros y nos haga un espacio en su agenda para trabajar con él y darle las opiniones de la comunidad, que nos haga caso.
We need you to listen to us and make some space for us, some room in your agenda so we can give you our opinions, what's going on with the community.
Espero una respuesta de su oficina. Muchas gracias.
So I'm waiting for a response from office. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Gracias. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 1112, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi, my name is Sergio Vargas. I'd like to do public comment.
You have 1 minute. Please begin.
Thank you. Yeah, this message is for President Nuri Martinez and also for Gil Cerrillo, Chairman of the Housing Committee. I'm a member of ACE, and I urge you guys to support the anti-harassment ordinance with the NITIA amendments. These amendments will make sure that we have a guide for enforcement of this law, right? Because without enforcement, this is just a symbolic law, and it wouldn't help anybody. And the longer we keep playing these games and delaying the vote, the more people are prone to get more harassed, and things are getting worse because of the pandemic. People haven't gotten the help they needed, so things are just getting more complicated. So please, we urge you to put it as soon as you can into the agenda so we can start protecting Angelinos. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Speaker.
Next speaker.
Caller ending in 3013, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi, my name is Rachel, and I'm a public comment.
Sure, please go ahead. You have a minute.
Hi, once again, my name is Rachel, and I also am a member of ACE, and I live in District 14. And I am calling because I strongly support the anti-harassment motion plus the amendments proposed by Councilwoman Nithya Raman. It would protect tenants and create a guide for enforcement. I do not support the landlord amendments by Councilman Lee. This would create more harassment and give landlords a free out of jail card by curing harassment. You can't cure harassment. So a lot of us are calling about this amendment. It's very important, and clearly it's an issue that is happening. We need to stop bullying tenants, and this motion needs to be passed. Thank you.
Caller ending in 1148, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in 1148, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
My name is Len Moses. I'd like to speak on all available items and general public comment, please.
Sure. So, Mr. Moses, you have 3 minutes for items 1 and then 7 through 33, followed by a minute for general public comment. Please begin.
Thank you, sir. Apologize to Ms. Autry for your gross disrespect to this 95-pound little black woman, Ms. Martinez. Item number 1. This is Buscaino's project. It's $15 million for a 51-unit existing building, apparently. It doesn't say how many units the project will end up being because it's just 51 units rather. It'll be $1 million per unit. Maybe I have to delve into it to find out how many units this is, but it should say so on the agenda so the public can know right offhand. Instead of the usual backdoor dealing, you've stolen all the HHH funds, or the ones that have been expended, wasteful on developers and your campaign contributions from them. The alcoholic beverages from Ridley Thomas, why don't you focus on the farmer's market in Leimert Park you're trying to close down in the middle of a food desert?
So
what a criminal.
We actually continued that item, Mr. Moses, but that's all right. Just go on to a different one, or you can talk about it in general public comment later.
Oh, okay, sorry. Ridley Thomas's criminal activity, that's all I had to say. In the middle of a food desert, he's trying to close down the Leimert Park vendors, farmers market. Mr. Koretz, we need more environmental motions from you, sir. Save the planet. Number 22 and 24, 2 through 24, removing properties from REAP, that's good. I don't see too many going into it unless you're just not advertising it. That's a good thing. Items number 33, I believe, 28 and 29, Lee. Wonder what's going on with your indictment, but you have tree trimming here, funding to the neighborhood council. That's a good thing. Maybe Dawson could do something for the black community. Instead of evicting people, evicting the FIBA Center, evicting Dorset Village, evicting the EDD office, King of Black Evictions. Number 33, appointment of Mr. Lewis. To the Human Rights Commission, this Mayor Garcetti shouldn't be appointing anybody to anything. He and Weston have created a system of homelessness we have currently, along with the current members of this city council. Somebody is responsible for this homelessness. Who's done it?
General public comment if you wish.
Yes, sir. I want to digress to April 7th. Again, well, first, Dawson's PSA on culture in Latasha Highland Park. He's the last person who should be saying anything about black culture. Like I said, he evicted the FIBA Center. This council has authorized $10 million since 2018 for his luxury offices. wanted to take over the EDD office. That's right. Gave him $308,000 and $20,087.50 a month lease. Well, you voted to give UCLA $15 million of state money, but we get an eviction expert.
Thank you, Mr. Moses.
Thank you, Mr. Moses. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 7145, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the item you'd like to speak on.
Hi, I have a general public comment. My name is Alma Quiñones. I'm a member of ACE, and I live in District 15. Council members, and the much needed to be passed anti-harassment bill and its amendments to fund this law. I'm in support of the amendments as Nithya Ramon has proposed. This is not a revolution, as many have muffled there in the council, and it's not a joke. Rather, it's a war zone out here. Tenants under the scrutiny of landlords. Council members, is this your case? The deficiency in public service trickles down and across, some city council members, as well as the LAPD. As police officers choose not to apply the law that's holding owners not accountable for their harassment violations. Without the law being enforced, as it is in my case and many others, owners proceed with the intent to discriminate and illegally evict. In civil courts, landlords and owners will not be held accountable. Rather, the judge, in many cases, will proceed with the eviction, completely obliterating and disrespecting.
Thank you, Speaker.
Next speaker.
Caller ending in 2616, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the item you'd like to speak on.
Thank you. It's Eric Previn, and I'd like to speak on the item, all the available items, and I'll give a small general public comment.
Sure. You have 3 minutes for the items, followed by 1 minute for general. Please begin, Mr. Previn.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Pavel. It's nice to see the Civil and Human Rights Commission choosing Candy Lewis. I don't know that much about her, but it's a good position to hold when you have an agenda that shows this wonderful Bureau of Street Lighting, who have been rolling out assessments to people at such an astonishing rate. It's quite sweeping. You sort of see $15,000 will now be collected annually to tune up the lights. During the budget hearing, they were doing a great job. Everyone was so excited about the new rollout of the exciting revenue generation. It was really something. And the temporary preferential parking districts, I'm not sure it's open for discussion, but it's surprising to be in Nithya Raman's district when this is the privatization of public roadway.
So why don't you move on to the items that are available?
Let's get back. 18 is a good one for Fauvel. This is the CEQA panel. Here, Mike Fior had a thought. He thought, God, we get sued all the time by all these neighborhoods who are annoyed at our behavior. Maybe if the developers covered our legal bills, that would be a good strategy. Let's call it the CEQA panel of special attorneys. And let's stick Myers, Nave, Ribeck, Silver, and Wilson right in there, along with the Sohagi law group. Now, here you see them today collecting Port of LA money, Buscaino. They're good. They do a nice job at taking a huge sum of money and dividing it up into $400,000 chunks that seem reasonable to do legal support. So, wow. Unbelievable. Item 20 is Daily Wells Communications. Blumenfield will sit forward for this one because it was the group that I think were competing for portable radios at the city, but Motorola, under the leadership of Mitchell Englander, FBI, started potchkeying with the procurement, and in fact claimed that the county had done a procurement when they hadn't. It's a disaster. Anyway, these guys make good radios, and they had a much more competitive bid for both the city and the county, but that's why Englander gets the big bucks. Now, the neighborhood councils out in John Lee's district getting the tree trimming money is always a little bit suspicious, but not as suspicious and surprising as seeing a private school, the Los Encinos school. Nothing wrong with the school if you have $31,000 for your kid, but why are they having a city-sponsored banner celebrating around it? But that's like, let's celebrate Harvard Westlake or Oakwood. I don't think that that's what cities do. Cities celebrate the city schools and the public schools, and the private schools celebrate one another and all the money they raise for the candidates to get stuff done at all those schools. Go Gorillas. So what can I tell you? I think this is a good agenda. To get to the public comment, is it time yet, Pavel? I believe it is.
Go ahead, Mr. Previn.
Yeah, the general public comment has to be the appreciation for the acknowledgement that you are doing a terrible job of canceling meetings. But the problem is you didn't restore them yet. I read that today there's for the 4th or 5th week in a row, a big crowd at City Hall or County Hall having, Board of Supervisors meeting. Yet up here in LA, there's a hiding going on, and it's not appropriate. It's really important to hear from your constituents. We've canceled all those budget hearings. That was a shocker. Check us out on City Watch this week. I have one called Grand Park to celebrate all the fine work that's being done at the city and the county. And with that, restore your meetings and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Mr. Previn. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 5554, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Sean Murphy from Canoga Park.
Go ahead, Mr. Murphy.
Yeah, general public comment. St. Mills is going to put people, my pastor is going to put people back inside before Father's Day. We cannot take them, they can't stay out in the outdoor mass. It's going to get brutally hot. You know it gets hot. My councilman knows it gets over 90 in the summertime. We're not going to wait for Father Jose's okay to get back inside. That's the way it's going to be. The people at St. Mel's and me are done listening to these Dr. Ferreira, Dr. Fauci. We're done. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Good to hear from you. Next speaker.
Thank you, Sean.
Caller ending in 6580, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Yes, Michelle Hope Walker in his public comment.
You have a minute. Please begin.
Yes, I did not file a police complaint investigation, but I received a letter from Chief Moore giving me a number to a complaint number, which I told you I've been harassed by them, and I see this is another harassment. Can you please stop this police complaint investigation? Can you please have them to stop it? I don't even know where they could be getting the information to do it because I did not give them any information. I didn't ask for police complaint. I do not want a police complaint. I already know what they did to me, so I don't need for them to investigate themselves and tell me they didn't do it. So please stop. If you can talk with the chief, tell him to stop harassing me, stop the police complaint.
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller ending in 1669, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in, please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Yes, this is Hassan. I would like to speak on public comment.
Sure. Please, you have 1 minute. Please begin.
All right. Well, hi, my name is Hassan. I'm a member with ACE. I live in the District 15. I strongly support the anti-harassment motion plus the amendment proposed by Councilwoman Nithya Raman. Thank you for that, Ms. Raman, to continue doing that work. And it would protect tenants and create guide for enforcement. For members like, for example, Mrs. Dolores, that I know that lives in my district, that I live where I also know in District 8, that she continues to be harassed by the landlord. Or Mrs. Yadira, which also has, harassment in District 8 by their landlord. And that will continue if we do not pass this. That was a long time ago supposed to pass at least the citations with the lenders, and yet we're here speaking about it almost close to half a year. So obviously, we need to get a day to vote on this. Obviously, we need to make sure that this gets passed to protect millions of tenants living in the county.
Speaker.
Caller ending in 4416, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Sí, buenos días. ¿Sí puede darme traducción, por favor?
Sí, la escucho. Puedo traducir.
Mi nombre es Yadira Michelle. Soy miembro de ACE.
Un momentito, la va a traducir la traductora. Nomás hable, por favor, hable despacio para que la puedan traducir.
My name
Sí,
is
gracias.
Yajira and I'm
Por
a
favor,
member
continúe.
of ACE. Continúe, señora.
Sí, nosotros le estamos pidiendo a nuestro concejal Gil Cedillo que si por favor nos apoya con aprobar esta ley de antiacoso.
We are asking our council member Gil Cedillo if he can please support us with this law anti-harassment. Sí, señora, la escucho.
Porque la organización ACE está trabajando muy duro para apoyarnos a todas las familias, pero necesitamos el apoyo de él también, la organización lo ocupa, para que apoye a todas esas personas porque los dueños acosan mucho a las familias.
So this organization ACE is really helping and supporting us, but we really need also your support because these landlords are really harassing all our families.
Así como nosotros queremos su apoyo porque no esperemos a que los dueños cometan un error porque tienen hijos corruptos policías que los mandan y no queremos que haya algo mayor para que aprueben esa ley. Le pedimos de todo favor que nos ayude a aprobar esa ley. Para que los dueños no cometan errores.
So we are really requesting that you can please support this law because we don't want to wait until there is a fatal mistake on the hands of the landlords that many of them have sons that are policemen and we don't want them to come and do something really wrong that then we're going to regret.
Y como yo también soy una familia que con mis hijas y mi esposo hemos sido mucho acosadas por el dueño, queremos que por favor nos ayude porque todos seguimos viviendo el acoso. Entonces, por favor, le pedimos a nuestro concejal que apruebe esa ley para ayudar a todas las familias que están en el mismo caso o peores casos también.
Because my family and my daughters were also harassed, so that's why we are requesting Council Member Cedillo to support this law so we can stop this from happening to other families as well, that they're even like in worse conditions than my own family.
Por eso yo le pido, por favor, que aprueben esa ley, porque a nosotros nos ha castigado mucho el dueño, mis hijas viven asustados, entonces por eso le pido que no aprueben esa ley hasta que pase algo grave, ya que los dueños usan a sus hijos, porque ellos vienen aquí a hostigarnos como son policías, pero no deben de usar el poder ellos así.
Yeah, so she insists that these people are sending their sons that are police and they are using their force against us, and this shouldn't be the case. So we really don't want something more serious to happen, so please support us.
Thank you very much.
Muchas
Speaker.
gracias.
Muchas gracias, señora.
Next speaker.
Caller ending in 1333, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
I'd like to speak on general public comment. My name is Arnie Abramian.
Please go ahead.
Good morning. Thank you, sir. Good morning, City Council. I wanted to start off by saying I appreciate the work all of you do for your district and for Los Angeles. I know all your hearts are in the right place. Some of you I know, most of you are staffers as well. And I really see the progress we've made coming out of the pandemic. Two topics I want to talk about. One is Stop Armenian Hate that's been happening during our neighborhood council elections, which has been huge in the Solon Tahunga area. 860 ballots were requested and only 640 were counted, which goes to show that there's voter suppression and discrimination against the minorities, the Armenian community in the district and the minorities in the district. Another topic I wanted to bring up was the flavor ban, which will put a lot of small Armenian business owners out of business, impact our culture and tradition. And the small businesses not only feed their families here in Los Angeles,
Thank
they
you.
send
Thank
money.
you, speaker. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 0013, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in 0013, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi, my name is Bernadetta Pickens. I'm the CEO of the Rock the Classroom Education Foundation, and I'm representing ACE. We support the anti-harassment bill, and I really support it because it's one of the main reasons that a lot of kids drop out when they experience homelessness. We are sending people out in homelessness, and the stay that the governor made is just lip service. The owners are ignoring it because if you had money to hire an attorney to sue, you would just pay your rent. So, and these owners are doing things other than just non-payment of rent. They are coming up with phony reasons to evict people just to harass them. I actually have an owner right now who has a phony tenant complaining about me so they could redevelop their property in Santa Monica where I live. And I just moved from San Pedro where that owner actually did a eviction against me when my rent was fully paid by HACLA.
Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 5028, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in 5028, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in 1381, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Roman Lapshuk, comment.
Please begin. You have a minute.
I'm an owner of WD Labs. We are in the process of becoming a cannabis testing laboratory. Back in 2019, I paid my application fee and I was issued a local authorization. After almost 2 years of hard work with Bureau of Cannabis Control, we finally getting close to obtaining the license. However, when BCC tried to verify our local authorization with the Department of Cannabis Regulation, the DCR could not locate our records. We presented DCR with the local authorization that was given to us, as well as the receipt from Office of Finance. Unfortunately, we submitted all the proofs, but we haven't heard back from them, even after multiple attempts to get an update. We paid our fees, we submitted an application in person, and we were given local authorization. If DCR doesn't fix their record by May 21st, the PCC will deny our license, and we're going to have to fire employees and file for bankruptcy before even starting the business. I'm asking the city council members to help us resolve this matter, help us get an attention of somebody in DCR. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller ending in 7978, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the item you'd like to speak on.
Good morning. My name is Rima Corey. I'm speaking on general comment or public comment. I'm one of the founding members of the National Hookah Community Association, and we're asking the LA City Council to please take in consideration the 1,000-year cultural tradition of hookah that's practiced by Armenians, Arabs, Persians, Turks, Indians, and other minority groups that all call LA City their home. Hookah is not traditionally used by youth. It's a 3-foot water pipe that takes 30 minutes to set up and costs over $200, which is out of reach for most minors. This rich cultural tradition may be erased by a broad flavor ban that is addressing an issue with the rise in youth usage of vape. It has nothing to do with hookah. In fact, Governor Gavin Newsom had stated that hookah is not the problem with kids. So before you solve a problem that has nothing to do with hookah, please take in consideration this rich cultural tradition and don't eliminate it and create unintended consequences by eliminating this rich cultural tradition.
Thank you,
Thank
Speaker.
you. Next speaker.
Caller ending in 3582, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
My name is Kamal. I'd like to speak in general public comment.
You have a minute. Please begin.
I'm a member of ACE. I'm in District 13, and I wanted to express my support for the proposal, the anti-harassment proposal, Robin's amendments. It's real obvious that there's a public health problem in terms of houselessness in Los Angeles, and we've been watching as landlords harass their tenants And when we say harass, I think people imagine it's just calling and asking for rent, when really it gets really racist, it gets really violent, it gets really dangerous. There have been sexual threats. There have been, whenever you start to talk about, I'm gonna call ICE on people, that's racist. Whenever you start to talk about, I'm gonna call the police on people, that's also racist, especially those people who are Black. And that is using state force to enforce private deals and private wealth for a small amount of people. Now, I know the people on the council believe they're public servants, so I'm just saying, like, as other people said before.
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller ending in 6499, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in 6499, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in 7136, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Yes, I have a general public comment. I'm a member of ACE and I live in District 15. I'm in support of the anti-harassment bill. Council members, do you know that owners and landlords are lawless out here? They create circumstances of extreme harassment and violence that will finalize in eviction, thus destabilizing tenants' livelihood. Many will be silent evictions. These tenants, in many cases, have no mental, physical, or financial strength or power to fight such a war. So they walk away from the tyranny of the abusive owner. Tenants who decide to fight unjustified evictions will drain their pockets in pre-eviction expenses. Council members, are you bored at this subject? This is not a revolution. This is a war zone out here. Please do not turn away from passing the anti-harassment bill as proposed by Nithya Ramon. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller ending in 5028, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Hi, my name is Viaduct. I live in Los Angeles. I would like to speak about the Armenian community.
Sure, please, you have a minute. Go ahead.
The Armenian community was disfranchised during the Sunland Tehanga Neighborhood Council election. Out of 860 ballots requested, only 640 were counted. This is a voter suppression. The neighborhood council system needs to change. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller ending in 6499, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in 6499, press star 6 to unmute yourself.
Sí, buenas tardes. Buenos días. Mi nombre es Arnulfo Soria y quería hacer un comentario. ¿Puedo tener traducción?
Sí, un momentito, le vamos a poner traductora. Por favor, nomás hable despacio para que le puedan interpretar.
Por favor, hable. Sí, gracias.
Comience, por favor.
Ok. Mi nombre es Arnulfo Soria Rangel y soy miembro de ACE. Apoyo la... Ok.
My name is Arnold Soria and I'm a member of ACE and I support... Sí, habla, señor.
Ok, firmemente la moción contra el acoso y vivo en el Distrito 9.
Ok.
Y quisiera que pasaran la ley del antiacoso porque ahorita están pasando muchos acosos y ha habido muchas personas que hasta se están separando. Yo soy una persona de esas que ando en problemas por la situación de la pandemia.
So, yeah, I wanted to ask if they can really support the motion of anti-harassment. I'm from District 9 and we are really in trouble now. Like I'm even like separating and yeah, we're like suffering a lot because of these problems of harassment.
Y quisiera que apoyaran las enmiendas de Nitia Raman para que los inquilinos tengan mejor protecciones y puedan salir adelante.
So yes, I would like to support the amendments from Ms. Roman, and so the tenants can have more protections and can move forward and get out of these troubles.
Es todo, muchas gracias.
And this is all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next speaker.
Caller ending in 7022, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Caller ending in 7022, press star 6 to unmute yourself. Private caller, user 1, press star 6 to unmute yourself.
So if you're calling in with a block number,
Please state your name and the items you'd like to speak on.
Bueno, yo quiero hablar el número 1 y número 7 por 37, por favor, señor pendejo. ¿Está bien? Y público comito.
Number 1 and 7 and 37.
Can you just identify yourself?
Pueden.
Mommy, it's me. Good morning, Mommy.
Mr. Herman, what items do you want to speak on?
I object to item 1, 42 SC 1983. Fuck item number 1. Now, regarding Motorola, yes, Mitchell Englander was a criminal involved in his indictment.
I don't think you're on an item, Speaker.
With Motorola. We should investigate.
Let's send Mr. Herman to general public comment. He's not on the item.
To defund the public. Thank you, Mommy. Also, regarding Joe Blow's 51 units, I think Mr. Moses Lynn is correct. You know, Mr. Sean Murphy could have had a nice apartment if you guys would stop raising the rent and kicking him out of his community because he's disabled. You racist people should allow Mr. Joe Butker-Arnold, who wants to be the mayor, to explain how many units he's actually building with the developers, because we know developers were involved with Jose Luis Huizar in a corruption indictment investigation called RICO. Now to my general public comment regarding the misconduct of you fucking homosexuals that God hates. The Bible, book of Romans 1, 26-7, really states why God hates homosexuals. And you know that it's the truth.
Thank you, Speaker.
Okay, that concludes public comment, members. Madam Clerk, let's go ahead and vote on the following. Item number 1. Items 7 through 25 and items 27 through 33. Please call the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Buscaino.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Cedillo, aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas.
Aye.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
15 ayes. These items are adopted.
Okay, let's go ahead and vote on item 26. There's been a request by Mr. Price to recuse himself, so let's go ahead and remove him off the board. Okay, Mr. Price has been removed off the board. Let's go ahead and call the roll on item 26.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Buscaino.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
Aye.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price recused. Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas.
Aye.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
14 ayes. This item is adopted.
Madam President, this is
excuse me, who's
Kevin
speaking?
Dillon. I just want to add an aye vote to the consent file, please.
To what file?
To the consent file. The first item that we voted
yes,
for,
we'll
consent.
record you as an aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And for the record, that would be items 4 and 6, and those would be recorded as 15 ayes.
Thank you. Let's move on to item number 3, called special by Mr. Koretz.
Thank you, Madam President. There's been a history of labor disputes and ongoing litigation that leads me to believe that MV has not been a great partner, and I'm personally uncomfortable with granting an extension without resolution of these issues. So I will be voting no on this item.
Okay, Madam Clerk, let's go ahead and open the roll on item number 3.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Buscaino.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Aye.
De Leon.
Aye.
Harris Dawson.
Yes.
Koretz.
No.
Krikorian.
Aye.
Lee.
Aye.
Martinez.
Aye.
O'Farrell.
Aye.
Price.
Aye.
Rahman.
Yes.
Ridley Thomas.
Aye.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
14 ayes, 1 no. This item is adopted.
Okay, let's move on to item number 5, called special by Ms. Rodriguez.
Thank you, Madam President and colleagues. Item 5 is a report from the Department of Transportation related to the strategy for 2021 and Vision Zero. And many of us have high injury networks throughout our districts, and it's one of those difficult circumstances that oftentimes is met with resistance, but it's really important that we continue to work on creating the conditions on our shared spaces, like our roadways, to make it safer for pedestrians, equestrians, bicyclists, and motorists. And while at times it can be very challenging to help advance this work, I really want to thank the Department of Transportation for its work in helping to lead these conversations in a constructive manner. Tonight in my district, where sadly back in October of 2019, 2 equestrians, while they were riding on Foothill Boulevard, were struck by a vehicle, their horses were killed, and the riders were severely injured, hospitalized for weeks. It's these types of tragedies that we can avoid if we work constructively with members of our community to find alternatives to allowing the very fast-moving conditions that oftentimes create these very hazardous circumstances. And so this evening, we are having a huge community engagement process with the Department of Transportation and members of our community virtually to help create a new circumstance and outlook for the Foothill corridor. But I just wanted to remind all of us about how important it is for us to continue to try and work to create these opportunities in our communities and help create these conditions, because again, it mitigates our need for enforcement when we have safer streets that are helping to be improved and created through the work of Vision Zero. So I really want to give a shout out to the Department of Transportation for its incredible work, obviously led by the incredible Salita Reynolds and her team. But again, colleagues, I just wanted to continue to bring all of us, raise our awareness and conversation around this work, because it's been part of the critical efforts that we've been leading and along with the Department of Transportation to help create safer streets for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and prepare to vote on this item. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Blumenfield.
Blumenfield, aye.
Bonin.
Bonin, aye.
Buscaino.
Aye.
Cedillo.
Aye.
De Leon,
Aye.
Harris Dawson,
Yes.
Koretz,
Aye.
Krikorian,
Aye.
Lee,
Aye.
Martinez,
Aye.
O'Farrell,
Aye.
Price,
Aye.
Rahman,
Yes.
Ridley Thomas,
Aye.
Rodriguez.
Aye.
15 ayes. This item is adopted.
Okay, Madam Clerk, what's next on our agenda?
Madam President, Council has motions for posting and referral. Motions will be posted on the City Clerk's website shortly after the meeting for the public's viewing. To subscribe to receive copies of today's council motions to your email, please visit clerk.lacity.org.
Okay, posted and referred. Members, are there any announcements? Mr. Ridley Thomas, you have an announcement?
With your permission, Madam President, I think it's noteworthy that the governor is now in San Diego making a major announcement regarding homelessness that he's proposing in the May revise some $12 billion to address the crisis in the state. And while the details are still unfolding, it's my understanding that these resources will substantially fund permanent housing, rental assistance, and street engagement. I think these are many of the things that we have been discussing on this council and beyond. And it seems to me that this news represents a doubling down on what I would hope would ultimately be a comprehensive crisis response. It's exactly what we have been pushing for and calling for to confront this moral crisis. And I look forward to working with all members of the council, whole city team, to make good on these resources. Suggests to me we might indeed have a fighting chance. I'm told that later the governor is to be in Los Angeles. And Madam President, it seemed to me that this is news worthy of being celebrated. And we should get after it with all our might and energy to do the work that we know we can do on the homeless crisis in our city. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, sir. Any other announcements? Okay, let's move on to our adjourning motions. Mr. Cedillo?
Madam Chair, my hand was up for the purposes of announcement. I want to echo Mr. Ridley Thomas's comments with respect to the governor. I share his concern, the need to recognize the emergency and the urgency of the matter with respect to homelessness. I've been raising those points since the beginning of my tenure here at the City of Los Angeles. I would also note that on Friday we were successful working with Assemblywoman Wendy Carrillo, working with her, putting forth a strategy to address the question of expiring covenants. And so I'm excited to look at how we go forward with that during this new time period, both in Sacramento, Washington, and here in the City of Los Angeles. And so I'm very, very excited. I know, one second, if I can get my staff to sit down for a second. Please sit down, Mel.
Hi, Mel.
Yeah, everybody saw the logistics going on in my little office here.
Okay, it's okay, Mr. Cedillo. Do you want to continue with your announcement before your adjourning motion?
So that was my announcement, that we were successful on Friday afternoon working with Assemblywoman Wendy Carrillo and preparing a strategy to address the question of expiring covenants for the city. 9,500 units over the next 5 years will be emerging out of their affordability covenants, and we look forward to working both with the Assemblywoman, the Senate, the governor's staff, and of course our Director of Housing. And so that's my announcement. Following the leadership of Mark Ridley Thomas, I am prepared to go forward with, I see Mr. Harris Dawson is up. I'm prepared to go forward with close of memory.
Okay, give me just a second, Mr. Cedillo. Mr. Harris Dawson, do you have an announcement or an adjourning motion?
Adjourning motion, Madam Chair.
Okay, let me come back to you. Mr. Cedillo, your adjourning motions?
Yes, two very sad adjournments today. One, we all know the public figure, Cruz Reynoso, a giant in the legal field, a rare member of the bar who went from the fields of the Central Valley to the Supreme Court of the state of California. He was a giant. His record is well established. His rulings, his judicial leadership, all established. I think one of the more important things for me, and I had the honor of being sworn in by him when I joined this great body, is that this man was an extremely kind man.
Yeah.
Very humble man. Kind, polite, soft-spoken, and it was those three things that gave him his power and his moral authority. I had the privilege of meeting with him many times over my career, particularly in Sacramento as I led the Latino caucus. And he was an amazing man. We would visit in my office. He always brought a gift. He'd have a book or a note or even some stamps. Sometimes he'd be, right before he left, he'd go, wait, I have to give you something. And then he'd open up his wallet and hand me a small book of stamps. Just a really kind man. And I just want to thank him for his mentorship and his leadership during my tenure in political office and in public office. There's a documentary about him that was done in 2010. Besides being on the Supreme Court, he taught ethics at UCLA, he taught at the UC Davis School of Law. He was on many commissions. And the other point I want to note about him and his leadership is his seriousness, his preparation. Whatever the audience was, big or small, he took it with the greatest seriousness in terms of what he was doing. It could be a meeting at Resurrection Church in Boyle Heights with community members talking about a project, or it could be at the Supreme Court. It could be a small meeting in your office. It could be a commission in a state building. Wherever he was, he always comported himself with incredible dignity and seriousness of the matter, and it elevated his mere presence and his participation elevated the meeting. And so I want to thank him for that motto of leadership. He was a great man and will be surely missed. If there are others who want to comment on it, I'll pause for now.
Mr. Cedillo, I'd like to ask that we make this an all-member adjournment. Thank you. Do you want another adjournment?
This is more personal. I want to talk to you about an incredible woman, an elegant woman, a very powerful woman, and she is Lucia Camacho Torres, born September 10th, 1935 to Nicolás and Ramona Camacho in the Sector Hidalgo de Guadalajara, Mexico. Her childhood centered around family and faith, and this is the way she led her family. Her family was an immigrant family that moved north to what's referred to as South LA. She had a courtship that lasted her lifetime with her and her husband, a timeless love of a young man with a song in his heart, and his beloved Lucia with a dance in her spirit. Timoteo Torres and Lucia Camacho married December 1955. They are an incredible family. You may know them. They are the Torres family, the Torres Construction Company, very prominent, very active. The family all participated in Catholic education, all graduates of college. A really, truly incredible family. While an immigrant, she urged her kids to participate in civic affairs, and they did. You know, it's a big family, and they're all impressive. If you meet any of the Torres siblings, they're all impressive. Every single one of them is a success. But it comes from a strong mother in the household. She led by example. In fact, her and her husband recently became citizens last year. They've traveled the world because they didn't have those opportunities when they were young. And I'm sad to say that on April 22nd, she passed with her husband by her side. And so it's an incredible loss to the Torres family and to the community that they have all touched. Let me just say for the record, she left her husband, Timoteo, and their 9 children, Graciela, Timoteo, Socorro, Esteban, Ismael, Marta, Peter, Jose, and Tomas, 19 grandchildren, 9 great-grandchildren, 4 sisters, 1 brother, many more nieces, nephews, and family. I've got to know this family over the last 10, 15 years, and they're very impressive, but there's always a foundation, and that foundation was their incredible mother, Lucia. May she rest in peace, and God bless her, and God bless her family during these difficult times. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cedillo. Mr. Harris-Dawson?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Today I asked the council to join me in joining in the celebration of the life of one Dr. Tobe Johnson, a rare breed of a man. He was born in South Carolina, matriculated at Morehouse College, went on to become the first African-American to receive a PhD from Columbia University in political science. Came back to Morehouse College in 1960, where he taught political science, the breadth requirement, the famous course, the grammar of politics, and the scope and methods of political inquiry at Morehouse College. He was a contemporary of Dr. King and taught so many luminaries that came through the college. The grammar of politics was a breadth requirement for anybody in any social science. So that means if you're involved in political life in the United States, you know a new senator named Raphael Warnock went through Dr. Johnson's class. You know the senior White House advisor on public engagement, former Congressman Cedric Richmond, went through Dr. Johnson's class. Former mayor of Atlanta, Maynard Jackson, went through Dr. Johnson's class. Here in Los Angeles, myself, former Assembly member Sebastian Ridley Thomas went through Dr. Johnson's class. If you are into cinema and you look up and you see Samuel Jackson on the screen, taught by Dr. Tobe Johnson, or you see a movie by Spike Lee, taught by Dr. Tobe Johnson. He taught up until he passed away, and leaves an incredible legacy at that university, but across the United States and the world. It should be noted that not only did his work touch the United States, but several African dignitaries were educated under Dr. Tobe Johnson in political science and now hold key positions on the continent of Africa and in the Caribbean. It is a national celebration, and I wanted to make sure that Los Angeles was a part of that, as his reach comes all the way to this coast and up and down the West Coast with the lives that he touched and the minds that he helped develop.
Thank you, Mr. Harris-Dawson. Mr. Ridley Thomas, would you like to speak to this adjournment?
I would, if you will, Madam President. Mr. Harris-Dawson eloquently laid out the tradition out of which this extraordinary gift to our nation comes. I had very little other than a word of gratitude for the direct and personal way that he has affected what goes on in communities across the length and breadth of the nation. Associate myself fully with Mr. Harris Dawson's remarks in terms of his impact, untold by many nameless individuals who've made their contributions. So thank you for that opportunity, Madam President. If I may associate myself with the remarks of Mr. Cedillo. We think about the pantheon of extraordinary jurists. Cruz Reynoso will be listed among them. He was broad, he was deep. In another language, you could say he was all that. In other words, his being taken off the Supreme Court for purely political reasons inspired by partisan politics did not define him or limit his witness. Madam President and colleagues, a lesson to be learned. They knocked him down and he got larger. Something about that that's very special. In his own humble and magnanimous way, he touched the hearts and the minds of many. So from those of us who cut our eye teeth in the civil rights movement, those of us who love justice and seek to walk humbly, we give our praise, our due, our respect to the one and only, the Honorable Cruz Reynoso. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, sir. Mr. De Leon?
Thank you very much, Madam President. I too want to add my remarks to Senator Gil Cedillo about Cruz Reynoso, the son of a migrant farm workers whose childhood was spent working in the fields. Cruz Reynoso never forgot his humble origins, and he rose to become, as we know, California's very first Latino Supreme Court judge. He was born back in 1931 down in Brea, California, and he was one of 11 children. He attended racially segregated grade school for children of Mexican descent, and was later challenged in the school board by segregating it. As we all know, he went to community college, Fullerton, down in Orange County. He went to Claremont College's Pomona College. He graduated back in 1953. And after graduating, he joined the United States Army and served in the Counterintelligence Corps for 2 years. And upon the completion of his military service, he went back to school and received a bachelor's of law degree from Cal and studied constitutional law at the National University of Mexico in UNAM. He would go on to spend more than 50 years shaping the law and young legal minds. And among his many accomplishments include his role in developing and protecting the first statewide federal funded legal aid program in the whole entire nation, and encouraging young students of color to enter the field of law. As we all know in the history, back in 1982, then Governor Jerry Brown appointed Cruz Reynoso to the California Supreme Court, making him again the very first Latino in the state's history. He also served as the California 3rd District Court of Appeals and was vice chair of the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights. And when he retired from the bench, he spent a decade as a faculty member at UCLA Law School, and as Senator Cedillo said, 5 years at UC Davis. In 2000, the year 2000, President Bill Clinton awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And when he was chosen by then Governor Jerry Brown, he's called him, quote, the most outstanding candidate that I could nominate. He shattered the glass ceiling for Latinos in law and upended the historic profile of those who should serve on the high court. He will always be remembered for his application of compassion and intellect in balancing those scales of justice, especially for the very marginalized. May he rest in peace, because he is a giant, no doubt, in California. And I thank Senator Cedillo for profiling, raising the stature to each and every one of us, to all the Angelinos we have lost. One of the greats in the state of California. And may he rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. De Leon. Seeing no other adjourning motions, members? Our meeting is adjourned. Thank you.